You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
There we go. All right. The best laid plans when the system crashes. Right before you go on, what is up, fans? Welcome to your Locked On Heat Postcast. Excuse me. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. A big win for the Heat. They are starting to play some serious ball right now. Miami has won 7 out of 10, 4 in a row, really playing well at home, finding the identity of this team. And night in and night out, it's different guys coming off the bench. I mean, how many Heat guys, quote unquote Heat guys, right? The Heat culture, from Duncan Robinson right on down to Tyler Herro, who had a huge game tonight, and Bruce Smith with an 11-point fourth quarter. You might not even know who Bruce Smith is as a Heat fan, right? And he had 11 points in the fourth quarter tonight. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Locked On Heat Postcast underway right now, and Miami with a big win tonight. They're all big wins, but man, it's Art Basel weekend. The Dolphins got the win over the Jets, knocked them out of the playoffs, and the Miami Heat with a huge victory tonight over the best team in basketball, record-wise anyway, the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell. And, man, ESPN app drives me crazy. I wish it could be more like the website. Here we go. Come on. Work with me here. Work with me. All right, so a big one, though, for Tyler Herro and the Heat. Monstrous win. Herro's been the best player on the team this year. He has, and he's making a strong case to be an all-star. We got all kinds of stuff coming your way tonight. It's Locked On Heat Postcast. We're going to look at Tyler's night, 31 points, huge third quarter for Tyler Herro, playing some hero ball for sure, and Miami's team defense just locking up Donovan Mitchell. And we talked about it at the end of the show last night. When did the Cavs get into town? 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. What weekend is it? Not that it matters what weekend it is in Miami, but it's Art Basel. You know what I'm saying? These guys circle Miami on the calendar, and they make plans. These guys have lives in every city. They have, I said lives with an L. They have lives in every city. They know people in every city. They have cars waiting for them. They put their bag, not all of them, but a lot of guys will go out in Miami when they don't go out in most other cities. And you know how that goes. And Donovan Mitchell did not have a great game. It tied his second lowest scoring total. Easy for me to say, second lowest scoring total of the season tonight. All right, Locked On Heat Postcast is brought to you tonight by FanDuel. And you guys know how much I love FanDuel. Get a big return on FanDuel. New customers place a $5 bet. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Start the season with a big return. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And, of course, want to remind you about our newsletter. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter introducing the Locked On Heat newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. How about that? Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Let's get into the gist of this game and what happened tonight between the Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the number one team in the NBA record-wise at 21-3. Coming into the game, Miami 11-10, but you see the signs. I saw the sign. They blew out the Lakers. They beat the Suns. Now, Anthony Davis had the Miami effect, just like Donovan Mitchell did, because he had 8 points when he came in. And that's part of playing in Miami, right? You get a little bit of that home court advantage that has nothing to do with the court. It's the bars and restaurants and the scene in Miami that helps you out there and does that for you. But man, it was like a late Sunday start in Miami too. So the Cavs came in at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and they were out all night, man. And it looked like it. It looked like it in the first half, and it looked like Jimmy Butler was out with them, but he wasn't getting any calls from the refs in the first half. Jimmy hasn't been getting as many calls the last couple of games, and I saw him getting more aggressive in the fourth quarter. Jimmy very rarely leaves his persona. He plays within himself, right? He doesn't force his game, never does, never has, smooth, lets it come to him. And, I would not worry at all about Jimmy Butler, but I would really be happy with what Tyler Herro's doing. This dude's playing at an all-star level, man. The difference between Tyler now, there's so many of them. He's faster, he's stronger, he's better conditioned. He can take the punishment better. He made all of his free throws tonight. One of the best three-point shooters in the league. So what happens? You close out on Tyler Herro. He's become really, really great at taking people off the dribble. I mean, he had some plays tonight. He's starting to like fly in from the wing on misses and like try to dunk them home. There was one play tonight, if you guys didn't see the game, he came flying from the left wing and almost threw it down on a rebound, got fouled, and it's the only reason he didn't. So Tyler been killing it lately, and he is definitely making a case for an all-star bid. He had 15 points in the first half, 19 points in the third quarter for Tyler Herro. And that's been the formula for Miami. They've used Bam as like a point center in some cases, not even bringing the ball up, but like feeding him up high, letting him take the other team's bigs out. He did it tonight with Allen again, right? And then Bam can do several different things. He can pick and roll with Tyler, with Jimmy. Bam's a really good passer from up top. He can find cutters. He can find open shooters, or he can take dudes off the dribble. Or as we're seeing more and more, he's hitting threes. And when Bam hits threes, they're almost unbeatable. They're almost unbeatable for most teams in the league. You know, I mean, obviously you have your top echelon teams, and, you know, that's going to be a challenge for anyone. And Miami's somewhere in the middle of the pack there and looking to elevate higher. But you're seeing more and more night in and night out, and you everydayers know this, night in and night out with the Heat. And Jimmy missing some games. Hey, that got a lot more playing time for Haywood Highsmith. Look what he's doing now. Hawkes Jr., another one of those quote-unquote Heat guys, right? But a very good player at UCLA. To say the least. So when they bring these guys in, the Dunkmeister comes in, and you know, it just is, you get that adaptation. They find the right guys, they scout them, they interview them, they talk to them, they draft them, they trade for them, they sign them. However they bring them to Miami, the vetting process, the evaluation, number one, beyond anything, number one is, will this player fit into our culture, into our brand, into our mold, into our family, which is really what it is. And the players change, and, you know, since 1988 when Ronnie Cycli and Glenn Rice and all those guys, 1989 Glenn Rice, but you know what I'm saying? So all those guys through the years, Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning, Marley, Mashburn, all of them right on through. And, you know, you had the 2000s with D Wade coming in and Shaq and all those guys winning the title. And, you know, then you had the Heatles. But the one constant, even with the Heatles, you had those quote-unquote Heat culture type of guys. And even guys who had played in many other places come in here and they're like, damn, man, I need me some more of this. It's hard work. It's blood, sweat, maybe no tears, but it's blood. It's the Godfather, like Spo says. It's Pat Riley right on down, and that's what it is. And people come to play here for that reason, and one of them, it's the culture. And Tyler Herro embodies that culture right now. Jimmy Butler embodies that culture. Bam Adebayo is that culture. He drips that culture. So the Miami Heat are in a good spot right now. And you're looking at the rest of the NBA, and you're looking at, you know, the teams that they're legitimately, you know, thinking about being better than in the NBA and where they're going to end up, right? Well, let's get to that in the third segment. We'll get to that more in the third segment because you got a Toronto game on Thursday. You have no other game this week. You play Thursday. Why is that? Well, it was weird, right? You played Wednesday against the Lakers. Then you had the Suns yesterday. You had a few days off in between there. Then you have the back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. So the Heat win back-to-back games. And the second of the back-to-back is Cleveland. Little scheduling gods helping them out there, Art Basel weekend, but it's the Heat's intensity at home. They'll beat anybody at home on any given night. They could beat anybody at home anytime. Tyler Herro, 34 points. Duncan Robinson, the Dunkmeister, with 23. Miami shot the lights out. They shot the lights out from three. At one point, they were 24 of 24 from the line. And when this team shoots like that, they're not going to lose many games. Jimmy has 18. Bam has 16 with 13 rebounds and 6 assists. Terry Rozier with 14. Darius Garland, 23 for Cleveland. Now, they were without Evan Mobley, one of their starters, and Isaac Okoro. Mobley got hurt during the game. Okoro did not play. So, I mean, and Donovan Mitchell, 12 points on 5 of 16 shooting. He had 5 points with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Both teams shot exactly the same. Interesting. Cleveland's 5-3 against the Southeast Division and 16-1 against the rest of the NBA. Very, very interesting. But Miami has scored 121 points or more in each of its last 3 games, and that's the longest streak in franchise history, such streak. Done twice previously. They've won 3 in a row overall, 4 in a row at home, both season bests. Man, Drew Smith, 11 points in the fourth quarter. Herro's 2 highest scoring quarters of his career have come in the last week. 21 points against the Lakers Wednesday, 19 today against the Cavs. Pretty good teams he's doing it against. They get a few days off. Miami, and that's because they're not in the NBA Cup knockout round. So they host Toronto on Thursday. They don't play again until next week. So you got 1 game this week, and they're on a high right now. You know, like when you're red hot like this, you want to keep playing. You don't want any time off, man. When you want a day, you want 2 days, you want that practice, but you want to stay fresh. So interesting how Spo will choose to keep this team fresh with so many off days. It's so rare to have that many off days for an NBA team. In the playoffs, you get more of that because the series are still continuing if you finish one early and whatnot. But it's very interesting when you think about the way that this game and this team is set up right now. The way that the game went tonight, back-to-back, they beat the Suns. They got no Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? And then no Nurkic, so 2 starters, they were down. Cavs down 2 starters. Sometimes these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. All right, you're watching Locked On Heat Postcast. I almost forgot for a second because I did the Dolphins one earlier today too. Dolphins beat the Jets, suck. Knocked them out of the playoffs, took everything they had. And overtime, to Jonnu Smith with a touchdown. I hope you enjoy that one. If you missed it, you can catch it here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast for free, as well as this one. After every Heat game, we'll be back on Thursday. A couple of days off, but in the meantime, you can check out your Locked On Heat podcast every day to stay in the know on your Miami Heat. Jim Grieshaber, Locked On Heat Postcast. Call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media. Big win for Miami tonight, 122-113. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland falls to 21-4. Miami is 11-10. I think they're 12-10 now. That's wrong on the box score. It takes them a while to update those wins and losses. I noticed that sometimes on the websites. But hey, who am I to complain? Huge win for the Heat tonight, man. 122-113. We're going to tell you all about a great night for Tyler Herro, a tremendous night shooting the ball for Miami overall. We'll hit the stats, individual and team, and then you know what's coming, don't you? You don't even know. Yes, you do. The graphics at the end of the show, the final score, the turning point, player of the game, all those things, 30 minutes. Hey, it's free. It's wherever you get your podcast, plus here on YouTube, and you're going to get unbiased, unfiltered, yes, expert analysis instantly, if I don't say so myself, from these games. All right, this is what happens. I get here right on time for a break, and then I babble for 2 minutes. I will stay here, and we'll continue in just a moment talking about this beautiful win, 122-113. Miami beats Cleveland tonight in the MIAO. Let's see. Make sure I'm doing this right. Where are we at here? Give me a second, guys. We're live. You know this, right? So when we're live, the camera's in your face the whole time. I thought so. This is just internal dialogue. Anyway, I am here to tell you about Mint Mobile. I'm here for a lot of things and a lot of reasons, but I love to do things like this. And here's the reason why, all right? Here is the reason why. The big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get from the big wireless providers, right? Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets, like Tyler Herro coming down the lane for a jam. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. And you know other mobile providers, they're always trying to sneak things in there. This fee, that fee, and then let's not forget about the late fees, the over-the-limit fees, all these fees if you're late, if your phone gets shut. No. Come on, we're talking about real people here. Real. You and me. You know what I'm saying? Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. That's right, 15. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. You cannot beat it. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabyte on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. See that? We got the fine print taken care of and all that too. What a deal. All right, 122-113. The Heat beat the... Take that down now. Take that. The Heat beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The owners of the best record in the NBA. Coming into today, they're 21-4 now. And a big win for your Miami Heat. And Tyler Herro carrying that team tonight along with Yeah, I mean, Duncan Robinson had another good game shooting the rock. And, everybody shot well for Miami tonight, and that's important for this team. But they have a lot of dog in them. They deflect loose balls. They out-rebounded Cleveland tonight. All the hustle points were won by Miami. And this just in. You'd think that since the Heat have been there since 1988, and I don't know, South Beach has been booming and bustling, and Miami and Wildwood and every other neighborhood in the city, it's been booming and bustling and growing since about the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, right? From the days of Miami Vice, ushering you right in. And the Heat got there in 88, perfect timing. So you would think in almost 30 years, in 26 years? How many years is that? I don't even know. No, wait, right. Yeah, no, it's 1998, 36 years. In 36 years, my math is off. I'm so old, I forget the years. They all bleed together. Since 1988, and here's a memo to all you GMs and all you owners and all you travel secretaries. I mean, do not fly your team into Miami on a Saturday night when you have a Sunday evening game. Why? And I know the players we need to go to Miami. Don't fly your team into Miami at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night when you have a Sunday game. I would love to see the records of teams that have done that in the 36 years that the Heat have been there. How many teams win versus lose when you fly? And I'll throw in a Thursday or a Friday night too. Go out on those nights in Miami. You ain't getting in until 7, 8, 9 in the morning, maybe even later. And then you got a game that night. Right? And these guys are young. They're bulletproof. They feel like they can do anything. And it's Art Basel. The clubs are popping. Every hot woman in the world is there. And if they're not, I don't know why they're not, honestly speaking. So it's a tough. And when I say that with how do I say that? I say that when you're talking about from the context of a bunch of 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old dudes getting off a plane from Cleveland, right, to go to Miami, and you knew they weren't going to win this game. I told you about this for 5 minutes, and I told you if you were sharp, you'd be on this game, right? You'd be on this game with the 2.5-point dogs. The Heat were 2.5-point dogs, and the total was 222.5. So if you had Heat over, like I said you should, hey, pop one back. Let's toast together. You know what I'm saying? Big win for you today, just like Miami. All right, let's take a quick peek at the box score. All right, Duncan Robinson, 7 out of 11, 4 for 6 from 3. 23 points for the Dunkmeister. Gotta love that. Haywood Highsmith held scoreless tonight for the Heat. Jimmy Butler had 18 points and 5 assists on 6 of 12 shooting. Again, not forcing anything, never does. Bam, 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 bam. 16 points, 13 boards, 6 assists for the Olympian, and Tyler Herro playing it tonight for sure. 19 points in the third quarter, 34 overall, 10 of 19 from the floor, 5 of 9 from 3, 9 of 9 from the foul line. So Tyler, yeah, it was that night for Tyler Herro. And one of the ones he missed was a runner at the buzzer from step back 3 that wasn't even, it was just rushed. And so let's see. On the bench, Rozier with 14 on 6 of 14, 2 of 5 from 3. And yeah, Drew Smith. I say Bruce Smith. Drew Smith. I might have had a Freudian slip there. 11 points, and he had all 11 of those in the fourth quarter. How dope is that? And no points for Kevin Love. Oh, 2 for Bryant and 4 for Jaquez. And then for the Cavs, really nothing. Garland had 23. Donovan Mitchell had 12. Wade had 11, but it was mostly the bench for them. If I'm a bench player on a team like the Cavs, I'm going right to bed. I know the starters are going out. Hey, I'm going to bed, man. I'm going to bed, and I'm scoring 15 like Yang did, or 14 like Jerome, 13 like Levert, and Merrill. Shout out to Levert with all the adversity he's overcome in his career. So that's the individual stats. How are we on time? We got plenty of time. Look at this. We are mastering our domain here on the show. We have team stats to give you, right? So both teams shot an identical 41 for 86. How many NBA games do you see where each team gets an exact same number of shots? They each shot 47.7%. Not only did they shoot the same number of times, they made the same number. That's just crazy. Sometimes coincidences, right? From 3, it was 14 for 33 for Cleveland, 16 for 37 for Miami. They were 4 for 18 at halftime from 3. So 12 for 17? No, 12 for 19. Excuse me, 12 for 19. The rest of the way, University of Miami degree. Don't blame me. All right. And then, so that's, about even on the percentage. Free throws, Miami 24-26. Jimmy missed the last 2. They were 24 of 24, and Jimmy missed the last 2 in the fourth quarter. They would have had a perfect foul shooting game. He's going to hear about that. There's going to be some things happening there. Cleveland 17 out of 18. So both teams played very well. They really played well. Crisp, clean, not a ton of turnovers. Miami out-rebounded Cleveland by 7, 47-36. Coro's out, Mobley's hurt. You know what I'm saying? The free throw percentage way into the 90s for both teams. The assists about even. Turnovers, 3 more for the Heat, 12-9. Fast break points about even. Points in the paint, 50 and 50. fouls, 18-15. Cleveland had 3 more, and then, the largest lead, 15 for Miami, 6 for Cleveland. So almost a shout out to my boy Mike Goldberg, a virtually identical game. You know what I'm saying, for each team, but Miami's defense cranked it up, and they were better from 3. And to me, in the second half, bombs away. It was bombs away. You are watching Locked On Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. Excuse me, GRIES, at Jim Gries _ on social media. 122-113, 4 in a row for Miami, and a nice job to win that game tonight. They've won 7 of their last 10 overall and 4 straight, 5 out of 6 at home. Great job. And Herro is playing like an all-star. Get your game on, go play, and that is what's happening right now. I'm going to wrap it up on the other side with the final score graphic, the player of the game, the turning point, and look ahead for Miami. They play Toronto on Thursday, but what a run it's been for Miami lately. The defense cranked up. They're starting to knock down shots, and this team is looking pretty good. Now, remember, we're here free every game, right after the game. Locked On Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network here on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as Locked On Heat every day to keep you up to date with everything that's going on with the team day in and day out. Looking at the player of the game next. Locked On Heat Postcast. All right, there we go, and there we have it. All right, get ready to tackle in 3, 2. Get ready to tackle the NFL action, NBA action, all the action you want with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. Big NFL Sunday today, Monday Night Football tomorrow. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, 122-113. The Heat beat the Cleveland Cavs tonight. And you know what's interesting is you look at Miami's numbers tonight, and you look at the box score, right? And one of the interesting things to me, let's pull up the Gamecast real quick here. Yeah, Miami had a lousy first quarter offensively. 21 points for the Heat, couldn't get it going, nothing happening, just not a good quarter, right? It was 25-21 Cleveland at the end of one. Miami exploded in the second quarter for 38 points, and that was without the three-point barrage. They had 31 in the third and 32 in the fourth. They almost had 4 30-point quarters against the Suns and the Lakers. It's been a good run for Miami this last week or so, and a really, really nice job tonight all the way across the board. So I don't think I missed anything yet. But I've got it all. Yeah, there we go. 122-113. They've won 7 out of 10, 4 in a row. Herro ball, 31 points, 19 in the third quarter for Tyler. He had a 21-point quarter last Wednesday against the Lakers. And, yeah, the team defense on Donovan Mitchell. You know, Tyler checked him quite a bit. You had a lot of guys switching off and on him throughout the game. Highsmith loves those challenges. You know what I mean? Just Rozier, just taking turns on him, taking shots at him, hitting him every chance you can. Trying to throw him off his spot, throw him off his game, don't let him have what he wants, make him beat you in other ways. And they did so well with that tonight against Donovan Mitchell. And really proud of the way that those Heat players took that. You know, I mean, look, they did with Anthony Davis the other night, too. You think about who's been better in the NBA than Anthony Davis and Donovan Mitchell. And the Miami Heat with a big assist from the city of Miami. Let's not forget, you know, the Lakers coming in town, Cavs coming in town, plenty of free time. You know what I'm saying? So it's good, though, because you got the win on the back-to-back, and you're beating the best team in the league record-wise. I don't think they're the best team in the league, but record-wise, you know, obviously is one thing, and it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Their record's their record. I'm not the biggest fan of just, you know, records make you the best team in the league necessarily. I'm not that guy. And especially, you know, everybody's played a different schedule. You know what I mean? So it's not, but records are records and they're important. But if you want to keep that record in a little bit perspective, then you realize that record was what you call it? Wait, hold on a second. Here we go. Get that out of here. Okay, that record was, you know, I mean, just inflated a little bit They've lost 3 games against the East Division, by the way, against the South. So let me see. We got the moment. We'll get that moment in a minute. I mean, I could just make it all Tyler Herro tonight. I could make it all Tyler Herro. But let's see. I think the moment was Tyler Herro's 19-point fourth quarter, don't you? Third quarter? 19-point third quarter. We'll go with that. 19-point third quarter for Tyler. Boom. And then the final score is 122-113. So, yeah, we got a little bit. It's a little bit. There's not a lot to work with sometimes from our media partner. It's a website called Imagine, IMAGN, like image. Like, that's pretty cool. I like it. But sometimes they're a little slow putting up the pictures after either the NBA games or the baseball game. I mean, the football game today is 100 pictures, right? But it was not easy to get that part done here today. And sometimes we got to go on the fly, and you got a live microphone and a camera in your face for a half hour, and you're doing things while you're going. Because, I mean, look, we literally need to be, and I'm downloading these now, we need to be on right away, and the camera's in the face the whole time, and we want to be here for you right away. So sometimes we're going to be putting things together on the fly, and then we'll be uploading these in a second and hitting them for you here. But just an awesome win for Miami. Tyler's playing great. The confidence that he exudes now. Big thing I've noticed, right? And I've talked to a couple of guys who are around the team a lot more than I am. Big thing I've noticed is, when you change and when you're building and you're growing and you're becoming more confident and you're stepping into your best self and all those things, the skills, the goods are there. They're all going to come out on the practice floor, right? So every year when Tyler comes back and he's got he's sharpening the swords, man. He is sharpening the swords, and he's getting better and better and stronger and working on that game. So he gets back and he's in training camp. The teammates see it, right? Everybody sees it there. But the difference is when you come back and you have that new outlook and you got that new vibe, that new energy, that new mindset, that new attitude, that new outlook, the way that people respond to you is everything. It's one thing when you're different. It's one thing when you have more confidence. It's one thing when you know that, hey, I'm that dude. But when your teammates, the guys who go to war with you night in and night out, the guys who are on that practice court with you day in and day out, the same ones you're in that locker room with, on the planes with, getting treatments with, winning, losing, all the ups and downs of being on a sports team in a professional sports league, all those guys, how they start looking at you, how they start treating you without even knowing it, because your vibe hits their vibe in a certain way. That is how you elevate to become that dude. I've seen it happen so many times in sports where you've seen players they get more. I see it Anthony Edwards all the time now. And I'm not comparing Tyler to Anthony Edwards. Calm down. You get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And it's not just the physical skills that improve or the growth or adding weight to your body or improving your cardio. It's not just that stuff. It's the IQ stuff. It's learning the game. It's, taking it to the point where you can score in any way you want. And that's what Tyler Herro has been doing. It's been fantastic to watch Tyler's evolution and development. I mean, I know you guys love Tyler Herro. What an evolution and development for him. He's been so great. And look, Tyler this year has had a couple of, there's a couple of games where he didn't shoot well, and everybody's going to have those, right? You're going to have those, but he has been consistent. That's something in the past that we didn't see as much from Tyler Herro. Consistent shooting. And even on off nights, right? And we've seen more of this over the years, but even on off nights, right? Tyler will take that ball to the cup. He was 9 for 9 on free throws tonight. The game against the Suns on Saturday, he had 17 points, but he was 12. What was he? 8 for 12 shooting? 8 for 12 shooting, 17 points, right? And he wasn't banging threes the other night, but he had 7 assists and 6 rebounds. And, it's just the ways that he can beat you. The defense has gotten so much better from him, and just a great job. And never take Bam and Jimmy for granted. The numbers aren't huge, and even when they're not huge, they impact and help you win a game in so many ways. But suppose pulling all the strings, things are going well. It's a long season. Teams are streaky. The Heat have been inconsistent at times, but I have no reason to believe, sitting here right now talking to you, that this team can't be a 4 or 5 seed in the East, maybe even higher. Who scares you in the East besides the Celtics? You saw Cleveland tonight. I don't think Cleveland, if the Heat's playing their best ball, is Cleveland really a better team? I don't know. How many teams do you see that really scare you, that you really say, wow, Boston, Milwaukee? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. These are all just things I'm spitballing here. Tell me in the chat, what do you think? By the way, smash the subscribe, hit that bell. You'll know when we have content coming your way, and then engage with us in the chat. You'll have a lot of fun. While you're at it, give me a follow, if you would, on social media at JimGries _ GRIES. The audience surging. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You know what I mean? iHeart. 122-113. The Heat win. Tyler Herro with a magical performance. Really, a magical third quarter. He had 15 points in the first half. You can score 15 and a half. You're averaging 30. You're a top 3 scorer in the league. He already had 15. He's working on a 30-point game. And if it wasn't a blowout in the fourth quarter, he could have hit a 40-point game. But Tyler Herro with a big, big night. 19 points in the third quarter. He's 9 of 9 from the line. He's hitting threes. He's drawing fouls. He's dropping dimes. He's following shots coming in MJ style from the wing, trying to throw it down on a rebound. I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I see him as like a better version of Rex Chapman, a much better version. Not much better. Rex was pretty good. Remember what Rex did to MJ. But there you have it. All right, Locked On Heat Postcast. Before we get on out of here, they played Toronto on Thursday. They just played them twice. Toronto's not a very good team. That should be a win for Miami, but keeping that team sharp. They lost the NBA Cup games, and they don't play, and that's why they have such a lull in the schedule. No game till Thursday, and then no game after that until the following – what day is that anyway? I think it is – let me see. Schedule, where are we at? Raptors Heat. That's at 7:30 on Thursday, and then they play again Monday at Detroit. And then they play Friday against the Thunder, who are having a good year. Then they get a game at Orlando, try to get a little revenge on the Magic for that opening night beatdown. But they've won 4 in a row at home. They have won 8 of 9 overall, and they have won 7 of their last 10. 7 of their last 10, 4 in a row at home. And, really nice job by Miami, just the winning streak overall. It's a good job for this team putting it together. They're finding their identity as this group, and some different pieces. It takes time to find your identity as a team. Tyler's a much better player. Jimmy's been banged up some this year. New roles for Bam, more assists. You know what I mean? So nonstop growth, adaptation, evolution, development by this team, and I see them in the upper half of the Eastern Conference by the end of the year. All right, here we go. Final scope. 122-113. Forgot to change the picture, but there's Jimmy Z. Butler still wearing the red uniforms, by the way. That was from the Phoenix game the other night, and there were only like 3 pictures to choose from anyway that fit, because there were like 17 random pictures of random Cavs guys. So there you have it, 122-113 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, who came in at 21-3 with the best record in the NBA. And then the moment. If you only had one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? All right, the moment. Tyler Herro, 19-point third quarter, and one too many T's on the end of that. See what happens when you're going fast in a rush? QTRT. No, calm down. There's no accusations there. Tyler with a 19-point third quarter, and he just shot the lights out and blitzed the Cavaliers off the floor, and that was the biggest turning point in the game. And anticlimactically, or is it? Star of the game, Tyler Herro, 31 points, playing Herro ball. Look at him shooting over Garland there. And one, by the way, and one. I don't know if they called it, but look at that picture. And one. Excuse me. But Tyler Herro, 31 points, 19 in the third. Huge game for him on a night when Bam and Jimmy just played within themselves, didn't try to push anything, didn't stretch anything. The assists were there, the rebounds, the points were, here and there for those two guys, but they were efficient. They played well, focusing on defense. And it was Tyler Herro's 31, and then the Dunkmeister, Duncan Robinson, with 23, hitting some threes as well. And like I said, when Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro specifically shoot like that, and nobody's beating the Miami Heat. Very few teams will beat the Miami Heat with these guys playing like that. And then you throw in Bam and Jimmy, and you get healthy, you keep finding your groove, you head toward Christmas, and then after Christmas, the season starts, is really what, you know what I'm saying? So we're doing all right here. We're doing all right. We're having some fun with the Heat Postcast. Miami's playing better. You're going to get a lot of grit. You're going to get a lot of hustle. Dolphins won today. They're 6-7, still alive in the playoff race. Not too shabby. The Canes, I don't want to talk about the Canes. With at least Bama got left out, too, of the playoff with the upset. Clemson over SMU. And Miami probably would have won that championship game in the ACC. But to lose 2 of 3 like that to Georgia Tech and Syracuse, and then not get a chance to be in the playoff or the ACC championship game, such an anticlimactic way to end what was a magical year that will end up in the IDGAF Bowl somewhere again. But you know what? Turning the corner, getting better. Portal opens up. More and more players want to come. I understand how that goes. But the way the committee screwed that up, man, Oh my God, ASU is a bye team with a top 4. Are you kidding me? Arizona State's a top 4 team with a bye. Yeah, scrap that system right now. All right, there you go. 122 to 113. Miami with the win tonight at home in a big one over the Cleveland Cavaliers, the East leaders at 21-3 coming in now 21-4. Miami is 12-10 after the win. 31 for Tyler, 23 for Duncan. Bam spreading the love across the categories and padding the stats a little bit tonight with 13 points and double digits in rebounds again and 6 assists. Jimmy Z. Butler, passive, aggressive, so to speak, just letting the game come to him with 18 points tonight. And you look up and Jimmy's got 18. Didn't even seem like he touched the ball the whole night and he had 18 points. It's just the way that it goes for guys with that kind of talent. All right, 122 to 113, the Heat win. We'll see you Thursday after the Toronto game, and then Sunday, Dolphins-Texans, 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll be here live right after those 2 games. Locked On Heat Postcast, Locked On Dolphins Postcast, and don't forget, Locked On Heat, Locked On Dolphins, day in and day out for all your everyday needs in following your favorite teams, just like every team in every league, almost every league, with the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. The 9-point win, 4 in a row, and 7 out of 10. Keep your game tight and your mind right. We'll see you Thursday after Heat Raptors. Your Locked On Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.